Hey guys, Winchurcher here, back again with another Minecraft video. And today guys, I want to be talking about these two creations I have just made. Now, these right here are two secret bunkers, and I'm going to go over the first couple. So the only items I'm going to need in my inventory is the lever and the redstone torch. Now, for this one right here, if I go ahead and destroy the lever, we kind of have a contraption that I've designed here that allows everything to be switched on when nothing is there, basically meaning that the entire base is going to be closed up when the torch isn't active. Now, as you can see, I have some redstone dust right here underneath this block. Basically, if I go ahead and switch this lever, it will activate these two doors. I have a delay on the second door, just, you know, double door just looks quite nice. And inside the base we've got a bed, crafting table, a couple of furnaces, we've got our lamps, we've also got a couple of chests, they both work perfectly fine, and we've also got a couple more furnaces on that side, followed by an anvil. Obviously, when we do want to leave the base, you can go ahead and break the lever and reclaim your torch. Now, obviously, when you do build this, guys, you could put it inside the wall. You know, you could place it so it's flush into a wall with a few blocks coming forward to hide away the pistons, and then you could indent it back into a cave. You know, it could just be a small little door that's in a cave. You could build these out to make it look more natural. I'm not sure, it's up to you guys. Anyway, my second contraption I have designed is much more advanced in terms of the fact of, well, I've compacted everything even further and used the use of reverse redstone torches to carry the signal over to both sides. I know you could go over the top of it, but bearing in mind you may want this to be flush or inside of a, like, let's say a mountain or something, I decided not to go over the top. Obviously you could build over it, but I'm trying to keep it as small as possible and going down into the ground as much as I can. So if I go ahead and stand here and I go ahead and place my redstone torch, it will allow me into the base, closing up behind me, and yeah, we'll be inside our base. Now we have got in here a couple of chests. We've also got ourselves a furnace, a crafting table, and our bed. We've also got two redstone lamps that are always active due to the fact there is a lever on the bottom. If we want to leave the base, all we've got to do is go ahead and switch the button and walk forward, and we should escape. Now, how this works, guys, is when I place this redstone torch right here, it triggers this piston right behind it, which pushes forward this redstone block. Now this redstone block comes forward and activates this piece of redstone dust. This redstone dust triggers the timer right here for destroying the block. So if I go ahead and do that, it destroys it. And basically means that it hides it away even better than the lever, because the lever will always be open when you use it. From this we have two ways of getting in and out, keeping it more safe. We've also got from here, so when this is activated, the redstone block will come forward, powering this block right here, which will turn off this redstone torch right here. It will not touch the purple cable because this repeater right here is going into the block and is not receiving any signal going this way. Basically, this is forcing the signal to go into the block, turning off from the inside, basically triggering the entire system. This torch right here is pretty much fatal to the entire system. If this breaks, the whole system breaks. Then we have some redstone dust going up here like so. We've got a repeater going into these two sticky pistons, pushing forward the blocks inside, followed by a redstone torch right here, which is going into a piece of redstone dust, going into another redstone torch, basically carrying over the signal and lowering it, whilst also keeping the signal completely 100% true, and then carrying over the wiring up into this torch right here, which is turned off, turning on the turning on the torch that is right here, with a block above to carry the signal into these sticky pistons right here. Now the reason why I used a piece of redstone wire here instead of a repeater is because this repeater is on a 4-tick delay, mainly because of the speed of how it travels. Obviously, if I had this on a 1-tick, then this would be delayed, and the left hand side would pull open first and then the right hand side, and I tried to keep it completely symmetrical so they both open at the same time and close at the same time. Now I'm sure there are many ways out there to make this even longer in terms of the door opening, but this is perfect for getting in really quickly. Let's say if your friends are following you, you can get in really quickly, and if you want to leave, you go ahead and hit this and you can just run straight back out. I feel like this is a very, very nice design, and I'm going to be going over a quick tutorial, guys, on how you guys can make this little area right here for the redstone key. Now I'm sure a lot of you guys out there would like to make a door with a redstone key on it. So the materials you're going to be needing, guys, is a redstone torch, a redstone repeater. You're also going to want to get yourself a block of redstone. You're going to want to get yourself a sticky piston, and I believe also you guys are going to need your blocks of choice. Now for this I'm going to be using magenta wool and also white wool for my the block I want to show. So let's get right into it. This is literally just for the redstone torch key, because I'm sure a lot of you out there would really like to have a redstone torch key entrance. So if I go ahead and just place a magenta wool, I'm going to place this on the bottom just for the time being, but I'm going to go ahead and place a magenta wool block like so. Now if I activate this, it will activate the sticky piston on the right. Now from here you want to go ahead and place down a redstone block like that, and these 3 blocks underneath it. Now you want, for these blocks right here, you're going to want to place a block in front, followed by a repeater on 4-tick delay, and another repeater right here on another 4-tick delay. Right, okay, now from this block right here, you're going to want to go ahead and just play, oh, forgot to grab a piece of redstone dust. Make sure you go ahead and place a piece of redstone dust right there. Obviously that is not necessary for the system itself, but that is just so it resets. Now obviously if we don't have that redstone dust there, it will just activate and it will deactivate if you want it like that. If you don't want the redstone block to be destroyed, just remove these blocks right here and your system will be perfectly fine like this, and this will be your output signal. Alright, and you can put this into whatever you like depending on what build you want to do, but for the obviously for some of you guys who would like this opening and closing door, this is the most compact way I can think about doing it. It's a very, very, very small build, but it is very, very good and works perfectly 95% of the time. I forgot the sticky piston was broken. There we go. So yes, if you place that there, it will destroy the sticky piston. Now I will quickly show you guys on how to connect this up to the door, just in case any of you guys out there would like the door as well. So if I go ahead and just place I'll just do a single regular door right here. So if I go ahead and place my 2 blocks of choice right there, if I go ahead and place this, the signal will be outputted like so. Now what I'm going to do is make sure this is always activated. So what you want to do for that is you can go about this a couple of different ways. I'm just going to go about the most basic way possible and just place a few pieces of redstone dust. That should activate it. See, that only activates one of them. So yeah, you're going to need the repeater. So I'm going to think about the easiest way to do this, basically being where I can go ahead and place this block right here, followed by a redstone torch with a block on top, with another block in front, and then if I go ahead and place this, it should activate both the sticky pistons, and then when I go ahead and place a torch, it will reverse the signal. So this is probably the most compact way you can actually build this. I'm pretty sure there are more compact ways of doing this, basically allowing you to just make it more smoother here, but you know, this is very, very small, guys. For one door, this is very, very, very small. And obviously this will be your floor right here, and then you can go ahead and cover up all of this section right here. You can actually build over these pieces right here, which if you want to, you really can, and you can also place blocks here. I mean, that is all personal preference. For me, I just like doing it like this, you know, just having it slightly covered but not too covered, and that is for a single door. You could do this so it goes into a mountainside even, so you could have it so it goes into a cliff edge, and you know, it would just be a corner door, which would be really interesting in some situations if that's what you wanted to do. Obviously you want to make sure people don't go ahead and mine into your base, because that would never be a good thing if people actually went ahead and destroyed it and got into your base. Obviously you want to make this thing as clean as possible. Now obviously some of you guys may want a double door. If you are still following the tutorial, I will quickly show you on how to turn this into a double door. Right, okay, so if we go ahead and build out just another couple blocks right here. Now keep this in mind, guys, that this is always active, so what you're going to want to do is make sure you're placing your blocks here, because it's going to actually go ahead and well, you're missing a block in a way because this one's not activated, and you want this to be on this one right here. So if I go ahead and break that, but yeah, you want to put a block underneath there and break those, because that is your flooring right here. Okay, and now these sticky pistons right here we're going to want to activate. Now the most simple way I could think of doing this would be just carrying the signal, putting it over the top and just carrying it straight over. basically just keeping this as simple as possible. This is probably the most simple way I can think of in terms of activation. Like, this is so basic. Some of you guys may want it on the underneath part, but honestly, I struggled enough to build it the first time. I will probably make mistakes trying to do it again. But yes, this is probably the most easiest way I can think of building the redstone torch key activation for a double sticky piston door. There are many other different doors you guys can go ahead and build as well. This isn't just the only door you guys can build. I know a lot of my videos recently have been going over bunkers, and I have a massive interest in for my survival worlds. So I am practicing as much as I can to make the perfect redstone door. But yes, this works out perfectly fine if you place the torch there. You're going to want your way out as well. Okay, obviously you guys definitely going to want a way out. So the easiest way I could think of getting the way out is activating this block right here. And doing that will basically require us to... Well, there's a couple of ways we could go about doing this actually. We could just go ahead and bring it up to this wall right here. And let's go ahead and get a button. Place the button on that wall right there. And then just grab the current and... Oh, yeah, we got to bring it out one more just because of that silly block on the side right there. So let's just bring it out one more like so. Break these two right there, place down your button. Okay, and then what you want to do is just place down your redstone dust like so, and then when you flick the button it will open up the door. Fantastic. But yeah, this is it's a very easy build. You can actually have it flush on the ground if you really want to. I mean, if you do want the button on the ground, you can also have that as well. It works exactly the same. You're just going to have to require to cover that up a little bit. But, you know, that works out perfectly fine. Well, this is perfect. This is a perfect redstone door right here. And yeah, you can just go ahead and cover it up, you know, build around it, other things like that. It's very easy. And I hope you guys... know how to build yourself a nice little entrance to a secret bunker. I hope some of you guys make some really good bunkers. I'll be surprised to see some of you guys when I join your worlds on what bunkers you guys have designed, because wow, this is funky. I want to go ahead quickly and use this contraption right here to actually trigger this side as well. Now this is going to be a little bit tricky as we're going to make a second redstone signal. So it comes out on the second block right here. So if we find the second block, it comes out right here. We're gonna have to ignore the second block though because of the third space coming here. You know, we don't want it to disturb the signal, so we will build it coming off this side right here. I want to make it so that it requires another redstone torch in order to escape the build as well. Now this one's going to be a little bit of a challenge, just due to the fact that you know, it's going to activate the system, so we're going to have to build it either one more to the it would be the same size if I did that, so you know, I'm not too fussed really, but yeah, we're gonna go ahead and place a block in front with a redstone signal right there with a torch, and this has to be set to 4 ticks. So if I go ahead and place this, works out beautifully. It really does work. It's really nice. We can make it even so that is the activation right there. Basically just know how this signal works and you'll be golden every time. As long as you're activating this piece of dust right here, this is the most crucial part because this is what carries the signal. As long as you're activating that piece of redstone dust, you're pretty much set. Alright, so we'll make this block right here the escape block. So if we place a block right there with a sticky piston on top. I'm not sure if any of you guys would like the sticky piston out on the side, but yeah, you can do it like this. Place a redstone block in front, and then what you want to do is place a block ahead of it. You want to connect your redstone dust. Ooh, made a little bit of a mistake there. You want to go ahead and place your redstone dust on here, and you can set this to a double 4 tick delay if you really want to, and then yeah, it will reset. And yes, obviously guys, you can actually go ahead and connect that to the real signal, so when you activate it, you'll activate the door and delete the block. it's as easy as that, guys. Really, it really is that easy. It's not difficult at all, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I mean, I really, it's quite late for me, but I'm always happy to show you guys some tutorials on how to make some really awesome secret bunkers, because honestly, bunkers are amazing. Secret bases in this game are amazing. Hiding things away from your friends is a really, really cool conception in my opinion. Like, having this in a survival world in a mountain or just somewhere in the world, even underwater, would be really awesome. Like, this would be so cool underwater, and that is the main reason for this one right here. This was built to work underwater. If this was here, the water will drain out and the double doors will open. Obviously, I do need to make the delay even longer, but you know, my redstone skills are quite amateur compared to my original. Well, I used to be able to build amazing things from redstone. I mean, I still made my calculator, which I am very proud of. I don't know if I'm going to do a tutorial on this because it will take a very long time. But yeah, for any of you guys who would like to see about a calculator tutorial, please let me know. It's very, very easy once you understand the conception of it. It's just the wiring and the way it all works can be quite confusing. But other than that, it is very, very easy to make. A lot of these things I make are very basic in my opinion. I mean, even this right here is so easy to make. It's just I overcomplicate it so much. It's literally the most basic form of an adder. So if I went ahead and, let's say, chose 1, it would show 1, and then if I chose 2, it would show 2. Therefore, it is now showing me 3. It is the very, very, very basic form of an adder. This is basically how I first thought of the design of creating an adder. Again, but I obviously made it so much more simpler in terms of the fact that my adders are now right here, and they just carry over your binary signals. It's very basic. And then I came up with my display over here. Basically, I was just deciding what I wanted to do for my display, wiring everything up and trying to make it show certain numbers, and it was confusing. It was very, very, very confusing to actually make. Like, if I hit a button, it would only show a certain couple, and it was fun. And then here I made, like, the first time I got back into redstone, made a very, very, very basic door that I overcomplicated a little bit, as per usual. That's what I like to do. Obviously, I have my nice big house right here I also decided to make, which has a lava dropping out the front, and also a nice double door as well, with a secret bunker and other things like that. Which, like, it's not really secret, it's just a basement. And also I have a chest compartment, which I was going to do something to, but I just didn't really know what I was doing. And yeah, we have a lock for the outside as well, basically allowing it to always be on, and you can't turn it off or anything else like that. I have a very, very, very basic design of a double door system for a shop. See right there, if any of you guys do want to make a shop, it does follow the rules of 1 by 1, apart from the fact that your redstone does have to come under here for these. Other than that, it follows the true 1 by 1 section, as you can see, the one strip, which was very fun to make. We also have here a very, very trolly entrance, where when you open the door, it will allow you to go in. It will lock the door, deleting the piece of redstone under here, locking players inside and not allowing them to leave, and will blow them all up. So, you know, it's like a man trap, if you will. This right here was very, very stupid. I basically just made a wave door. It's not really a door, I just made a semi-wave, which I was very bored at the time. I made a beacon color changer, which again is very, very stupid and unnecessary, where they're all changing. This was something, but I turned it into a lighthouse. This was a little silly design I made, which basically is broken now for some reason. This was an arguing, this was a signal that was constantly arguing with itself, basically meaning that it was infinitely telling it to, to switch. There we go. So if I activate this now, yeah, it's broken. It's broken. It was basically switching the pistons constantly. Yeah, something breaks sometimes. I'm not sure how it works. But yeah, my redstone world is looking quite nice. I mean, I'm building stuff everywhere. It's great fun. But yeah, I mean, obviously, I am now getting more and more advanced as I go along. I mean, including with this new sticky piston door that I've came up with. Like, I didn't even look at a guide to make the sticky piston door. I just thought to myself, oh, what would be a really easy way to make a sticky piston door, other than the fact that I'm just going to be using redstone, and I just came up with this. Like, it was super ultra basic. I mean, you can even make it as small as this. It's so basic. A redstone key, like, this is literally just a redstone key activation, and then your signal can come out here. That is literally it. That is your redstone key activation. That is it. That is honestly it. And if you don't want it to be as chunky as my other one was, in terms of where you want this block here with the redstone dust on it, with the 4 tick in front of it to delay it, I mean, that does make it longer than actually putting a block in front of it. If you don't want it to be that chunky, you don't have to. Honestly, you can just have your redstone dust going in. This always has to be a 4 tick. I mean, if it's a 1 tick, it might do it very quickly, even faster. But yeah, if you go ahead and just place a couple of 4 tick delays, even if you have one 4 tick delay coming out, it will have a very strong signal coming out of it in the end. See, the signal, the signal gets stronger. I'm not sure if any of you guys know this, but if you have a 4 tick, it makes the signal stronger. Look at that. And now we have a very quite a strong signal coming out of the back of this. That activates for quite a long time, because the more repeaters you have, the longer the signal is carried out for. Basically, they're giving the player more time to go through the door. So let's jump into one more door real quick. So if I go ahead and place the 2 blocks right here, like so, and then I go ahead and place a 4 tick repeater going into a block with a redstone torch going off to the side with a block on top, yoink, with a piece of redstone dust going into another block like that. That is pretty much it. And then if you place torch, it's legit. So it's super ultra basic. My flooring should have definitely been lowered, like that. It's not as perfect as it should be, in terms of the fact I would much prefer having that block on top instead of the stupid one down here, and then just bringing it up one more like I was supposed to in the first place. Oh no, I made a mistake, blimey. Just when building these things, just be a little bit careful. What am I like? Alright. Yeah, but yeah. Okay. I am very silly. But yeah, as you can see, it does work perfectly if you want to make it more compact. It does work perfectly fine like this, and then you just place the torch, and yeah. And now it doesn't work. But the block is missing. But yes, this does work the same. You can't place a block to the side, it has to be on top. But this does work out exactly the same as before, where you just got to put the block on top and you can go through. But yeah, I mean, it's always down to your personal preference on how you want to go about building these things. Honestly, I'm just very happy that I managed to make a true redstone key, well, redstone torch key extender. Like, I was not sure on how I was going to do it, and obviously now I can. So, some of you may want to have one that allows you to place the torch on the side of the blocks. Now, again, this can be tricky in terms of the fact that I've never built this before, and can cause some complications. So, if I place a block here, see, you don't want it to be sticking out, and when you have a torch like this on the side, it can make things a little bit more complicated for you. I mean, of course, you can have it so that the torch turns off, but I'm not sure what you can do with that signal in terms of the fact that it's reversed. You know, it's not going to do anything on the bottom. It's only going to trigger the top. So, how would you go about doing that? Well, I'm sure there's a few ways you could go about doing this. Can we place a sticky piston on the bottom? We can. Probably place carpet above it. I'm not sure why you would, but that does work as well. It only works on that side again. I mean, you can also place a piece of dust underneath it, going into a sticky piston, which goes into a block right here, which can then carry a signal from here. Yeah. See, that's the only problem you have. You can't have it going into the piston with the redstone signal. But yeah, you can actually activate it with this. It's just the redstone dust is always going to be there, and it's not going to be tucked away, and it's not going to look very nice. You can have the redstone dust. You have to have it under the torch. That's the only problem. So, I mean, if you want it to be even more tucked away, more secret, you could do that and then just place a block above it. Not sure why anyone would want to do that, but you always could. I mean, if you really wanted to. This does work for a small contraption. But yeah, the easiest way to do it is to follow the sticky piston one. It's so much easier, and it also deletes the block, which is really nice. It is very good. Double piston extenders. Now, I get asked about these by my friends sometimes on how these things actually work, and they're a funny one. They are. Double piston extenders can be very funny in terms of the fact that they're hard to play around with. They're very difficult to understand. Even I don't really understand them that much, and I play redstone all the time. So, if we take out the signal right here and just place down a redstone torch, ooh, it carries up the signal, but the problem is, what most people face is it doesn't close it, which can be very annoying. If I go ahead and place this on a 2-tick and then place the redstone torch, see, we've entered an infinite loop because this powers the block and powers the redstone dust. Right, place another one here. I want to see if the bottom one now runs it. So it doesn't. Just go ahead and do that. They now activate at the same time. 2-tick to that one. Let's put this on 4-tick. There you go. There is your working double piston extender. Yes, very annoying. Right, I know how to fix this. If I put this on 1-tick and it's on a 2-tick. Bang. It's all about the timing, really. There you go. It's very weird how these things work. Yeah, I'm not too sure on these. I must do my revision and come back with you guys on how to make a double piston extender, because I know these things can actually carry a block up too high for your doors. It would take the block to where this block is right now. Move up once, move up twice, for bigger doors, more space, bigger doors. I mean, I'm sure I must have done something somewhere in terms of going like this. Some redstone dust. I think I had some blocks. Yeah, I must have had something like this. And then if I had a torch on it and activated it, I'm sure it carries the signal up. I'm sure it did something like this, which carried the signal up, which allowed it to be activated. It's a very, very weird one. Double piston extenders are very strange. If I go ahead and place 2 pieces here with some dust above, like this is the only way I can really think about doing it, where you activate it like this. Like, this is the only way I can actually possibly think about, but it breaks the signal. You have to wait for it to do a burnout, and you have to wait for this to do a burnout. You have to wait for them to burn out, and then and then you place some dust above. But then if I place a 4-tick delay repeater going into it, it should always activate it, right? I'm not sure, but I think I'm on the right lines right here in terms of double extending it, because it definitely should work. Like, having it extend up, like, from down here it's a miracle. It really is one redstone contraption that is very, very weird to play around with. Like, double piston extenders are very confusing. And it's not like you can just go ahead and place a block above it either. It's like, if you place a block above it, it breaks. You know, it just breaks. And it's very, very weird. But yeah, it is a very, very weird. So if I'm activating that, and these deactivate, and if I go ahead and place 2 torches above it with blocks above them, that should double piston extend, right? Yeah, right, I am definitely on the right lines here in terms of double piston extending, because if you activate the bottom one first, then the top one. So if I activated this one down here, it would activate first, right? And then if I went ahead and placed a repeater going into a block with a piece of redstone dust on top, and 2, let's say 3 blocks coming off the top like this, this should be a working double piston extender. Oh no, it's not. Put that on a 1-tick today. I am very wrong here, and I'm not sure why. There's a block above. Okay. And that deactivates. Very, very, very weird. What about that on a 4-tick? Now, see, this one, they have to be activated very, very similar speeds. If they're not activated at similar or same speeds, I feel like it will not work at all. So, if I get rid of that, and I'm going to do it very old school right now, and I'm just going to come out to the side, like any old noob would do if they're new to redstone. And I go like that. That should be the exact same timing, right? Yeah, see, that's the exact same timing, and that will not work because it will just extend them both and it will not bring it back down. This one here needs to yeah, right, I'm going to do my revision on the double piston extender, but if you did like the bunkers, guys, make sure you leave a like on the video, turn on the post notifications, and subscribe if you're new around here, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.